Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug him. Long was 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Voice Post 1975, and welcome to a very, very special video. Welcome to my 8th year anniversary video of being on YouTube. I've done a few of these. I didn't do one last year. I did one the year before that was kind of, involving a bunch of other YouTube channels. It was like a shout out or, just a community driven thing because I, always believe in being community driven. But the reason I want to do one this year, because you could argue 8 years, I mean, maybe wait to a decade or something like that. But February the 11th, 2011, I started a YouTube channel. What I like to call, at least for me and many people starting around the same time as me, some still going, majority not, a far simpler and easier time on YouTube. Many things have changed, and they consistently change. YouTube, thanks to Google, is a consistently fluctuating playground when it comes to rules, monetization, copyright, strikes, things like that. The way it's policed, how seriously they take things. And so it seemed to me that, and I'm not saying that the sky is falling. This is not a Chicken Little thing or anything like that. But I think it's safe to say that any year now, onwards and onwards now, or anniversary, I should say, is worth to be celebrated, because 8 years is a long time. Now, this vlog is going to be all over the shop. I've not really prepared anything or anything like that. I was at work last night, and on the way home as well, I was thinking about stuff I wanted to cover. So whether I remember all of it, I really don't know. But there is a reason to it. Hopefully, will come out. Also, I want to talk about this because this is more so a video for me than you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope, you want to watch it. But it is, for me, it's almost like voicing why you love something out loud to kind of, to just reinstate the fact why you love it and why you enjoy it so much. And that's why I want to do an 8th year anniversary video, Maybe one next year. If I get to 10, I certainly will. But, right, let's go back to the beginning. Some people know this. I'll try and speed run through this, but I want to cover some things that have been big events for me along the way and just reaffirm my, love of this platform. And try not to go into the negative, because as soon as I said reaffirm my love of this platform that is rapidly, as I just touched upon, changing, and not necessarily in all areas for the good. But anyway, February 11th, 2011 was just a day when I've been watching YouTube videos. I always thought, I've said this before, it was cat videos and stuff like that. I didn't know it was you would assign channel, then you fill the channel up with your own content. So Retro Roadshow and Crow. This is no secret. Anyone who watches me, will know this. But it's important because it is the start, mainly to new subscribers, because I've had a decent influx recently. And I like the whole idea of having like your own thing, your own little budget basement entertainment thing. And more so than not, I just wondered if I could do it. And I tried it, and it was, I really loved it. First video was still up. I always say this, go and check it out if you want. I would advise you not to. It's utterly cringeworthy. Probably as much for you as it is for me. And it was in 280. But yeah, and then that was it. Something just clicked with it. I liked it. I like being able to voice my thoughts, my opinions, have a platform, engage with others, because it was always about the engagement, and the comments and stuff like that. And then, talking to and meeting like-minded YouTubers, because people who share a hobby, whether it's, digital or in the real world, you will ultimately be drawn to other individuals who also share said hobby and become friends, make friends. And I've always said friends in the digital world are just as important and real as those in the real world. That makes sense, hopefully. But it was weird, because before I had a YouTube channel, people like Steve Benway, I watched them, and people like Mark Verheer. And it's funny because I had a channel, but I wasn't uploading content to it or anything like that. But I would ask these people questions, and I would get responses, and it was brilliant. And then to interact with these people when I started making content was even better. And I'm not sure why. Maybe, as I said, it was like what I like to call the golden period. Maybe rules are less slack back then, and this was a couple of layouts ago. Funny how we all hated the current layout, or pissed and moaned that it was Chicken Little. Yet now most of us agree that it was a brilliant idea to make it uniform across, tablets, TVs, phones, and whatnot. But yeah, many, layouts ago. Yeah, I don't know. I've been very lucky. Like I said, maybe because it was an easier place then, or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just things have changed and people aren't so much interacting with YouTube anymore. I honestly don't know, but I did all right from the start. And it's not about, hey, look at me, I'm bragging. I'm not bragging. I'm really not. But I was just saying, like, this is weird. I'm responsible for people's entertainment. And it was initially very short vlogs, and it was always vlogs. And then gameplays trickled in and stuff like that. But I think where I drew attention, where people liked me, was the vlog aspects. I never thought I would be able to be this person who could sit, week in, week out, talk to a camera, although I see the audience, and air my thoughts and opinions and answer questions, and things like that, and just give my somewhat belief structure on gaming and things like that, and the political side of gaming, and sometimes things outside of that, like sports events and rants and things like that, because it is a mixed bag on my channel, and I really do like that. Hell, I've got over 2,000 videos. Really, 2,000 videos. I've probably still got another 275 unlisted because I just enjoy the process. Are they top notch? Are they super, super high quality? No, but I never said I was a TV station, and this format works fine for me. And it can't be that bad because I've got an audience and people watch it and comment and like it. So you know what? I'm happy as I am. Anyway, so I'm doing this vlogging format and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden I notice, I think I did a video response to Steve Benway, or one of his questions, and then all of a sudden I noticed that I was in his Friday talkie, and he shouted me out, and that was a weird thing because I remember having a really early Android phone at the time, and I remember Crow from Retro Roadshow sent me a message saying, "Dude, Steve Benway shouted you out," and I was like, because obviously nights and sleeping day, I was rubbing my eyes looking at my phone and go, well, that makes sense, because something like, I don't know, 55 subscribers came flying in because of that, and then my comments opened up more and I gained more views, and this is when it really became apparent to me that the importance of being a community player and paying it back. And so I did shout outs. I've asked people to do intros for me even back then when I was a fledgling little channel with like 500 subs, and I don't want that to sound arrogant because that's still a fantastic thing. Having 500 subs is still an utterly fantastic thing, particularly with the way it goes now to get your foot in the door. It's not impossible. Do not think there's no point doing that. I would like to say that and reiterate that. There's a point for doing anything, if you enjoy it and you have passion and fire in your belly, and don't give up because it may not explode straight away. That's just, nothing explodes straight away. Everyone starts from nothing. I've always said this and always like to say this. Everyone starts from nothing. People may start next to you and blow up through the roof, but that's just life, It's not to, don't look at someone else and worry about what's happening to them. Just do what you do and focus on having fun. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it's true. It is absolutely true. There will always be people who will just explode. That's human nature. People are drawn to certain personalities and certain types of material. If you worry about that, it's just time you could spend better on having fun and exploring, the medium. So, and then it was funny because I was asking questions because I always like to ask questions, and I still do. And then people were answering them, and people were doing video responses, which is something that was taken away. And I really, it's not impossible to do a video response, obviously, but the way you used to do it was taken away. And it was, it was a shame. I loved it. But yeah, people were doing video responses to me, like Long Boys Post 1975. Wow, why would you do a video response to me? And so, it just kept growing and stuff like that. And then I was, Steve would frequently answer. To me, it was mind-blowing because, to the peers that you admire, and then suddenly answering your questions or doing responses to you. It comes back to what I said about being, playing it back to the community was amazing. And the fact that I asked these people like Steve to do intros for my channel, and they did it, and again, it was just like I was having fun. I was really having fun, and I was really, really enjoying, YouTube. And then I think at some point I went up to 480. Woo! Lock up your doors. But as I said, quality or visual quality, I mean, I get trolled for it all the time, but nah, Olive, it's never been a driving factor, which comes back to what I said, which is it's not about having the best equipment. Production values and shiny, polish and editing on your videos will always probably, net you more views and subscribers and stuff like that, and will always appeal more to other people. But it's no reason not to do what I like to say, the simple homegrown approach as this, which you could argue to some degree before all the, Google got its hands into the pies and they turned sour, is what YouTube, put yourself out there, was initially created for before it became Google. So I just slowly but steadily growing, and it's amazing. And then high points along the way was Review Tech USA sent me a couple of PMs because I think he found me through Steve Benway's shout out, and I think Clint from Lazy Game Reviews also, because he sent me a question. He actually did using a BBC Micro, I think it was, a version of my intro. Back when we still had an inbox, which Google got rid of because they said no one used it. No, Google, you buried it down through all kinds of different pages instead of having it on the front, that people just got tired of digging for fucking fossils just to find the inbox. But anyway, so Review Tech USA. Now, this video's still up and I'm very proud of it. He asked me, he said, hey Dave, because I must have been from like homegrown programming and stuff like that, and knowing about love of UK machines and ZX Spectrum on my part, he asked me about, hey, what do you think about this new Kickstarter system, the Oya? Why don't you do a video on it? And he asked me a question, so I did a video response to him, and I grew a little bit more and a little bit more. But I was just amazed that this big channel was interested in my opinion. And this is something I would still like to reiterate, and we'll get to that a little bit later on, because I don't want to sound like I'm name dropping. I'm not. I'm trying to prove a point here, which is, when people say there's them and us, there's the small guys and there's the big guys, and the big guys never interact with the small guys. That's utter bollocks. Yes, they do. Do they interact with everyone? No. Do you interact with everyone? I mean, how much time is there in a day? And also, life gets in the way. It doesn't mean there is this massive divide. I've always said there is not. And the fact that, Rich from, Review Tech USA asked me these questions proved it. And PM behind the scenes, that I've talked to him on Facebook and stuff like that, and it's brilliant. And that Clint from Lazy Game Reviews did this intro song for me. That was like a highlight, and and kind of reaffirmed by love of this platform, which is, we are a big unit, we're a family, we are a community of many communities on YouTube. And some communities interact more with others, but the point being, big people, small fish, within the same community, you're in the same community. It doesn't mean that there is no interaction. Kind of, I get annoyed when people, say stuff like that. Like I said, it comes down to, can't interact with everyone, but neither can the small guy. And so, I was growing, steadily and rapidly, but it was never about that. It was never about that magic number that some people are driven by. It's a nice thing. To me, it confirms that you've got an audience, and that's a number of people to possibly interact with or talk to. Obviously, people will subscribe for different reasons and different videos, and therefore may only drop in once a month or something like that. So you have to take that number with a pinch of salt. I think too many people take that as a holy grail and just go, look at that. That's not how it works. And that's why I put more sort of pride in the number of comments that I'm asked and the number I respond to. And I always try to respond to every single one. Sometimes some slip through the gaps. Again, that's human nature. So if anyone's left me a comment and I haven't responded, it's not being deliberate or anything like that. But yeah, so the steady growth from like 1,000 subs was an absolutely mind-blowing, amazing thing, and perfectly happy if it never surpassed that, and making lots of friends along the way, loads and loads of friends. And then it was about 3 years ago, where I got a massive boost in subs. And again, I don't want to bring this down to try and make people think I'm tying importance into subs. It's not. I mean, if you want to do this as a living, and there's nothing wrong with that, then I guess it is an important thing. But for me, someone like me who loves it and enjoys it as a hobby, it's not so much important. But when you get a massive increase of them, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of scary, kind of exciting, like when 500 people show up overnight at your door. That is scary, but it is exciting in the sense that I didn't think of cha-ching numbers. I thought, oh my God, my audience has expanded. New people to talk to, new relationships and friendships to make, new horizons to expand, more, pockets of information and knowledge to share, and trade between various people, getting a forum going and stuff like that. And yeah, it was because Rich from Review Tech again, and this is not name dropping, it's just that he has had a big influence on my channel, and I want to prove that there is no them in us. He's proof alone in that. He asked for questions on his Facebook page, so I just asked one, which I stand by. I thought it was a really good question, but I just asked it because I thought, particularly, with along the answers he did in the video, the 7th generation. But I said, progression is understandable and natural and inevitable. But do you think at any point there was a generation or something like this, it's been ages, where gaming was just about perfect and had no need to get any better? And he answered that question in a video, and obviously said that it was asked by me, and I guess linked me in the description. And boom, it was weird because I did a live stream that night, and I got up again because of weird hours, sleeping in the day and working at night, and so coming home, sleeping a bit, getting up, doing a live stream, logging in, and just going. Initially, must have been like, I don't know, an hour, a couple of hours after it went out, and just went, holy shit, I got 75 subs, what the hell? And then all through the live stream we were talking, and someone actually said, hey, Review Tech USA shouted you out. And I was like, wow, he answered the question, because I kind of think he said to me, and I knew he was going to answer it. But the point being, the moments like this, they reaffirm how much fun you can have with this and what you could do, with a hobby. And I want to point something else out here. The 8 years for a hobby, almost a decade of a hobby, confirms that I love it as much now as I did day one, and get as much enjoyment, making the videos. They may look low quality and shit like that. They still take a lot of time to edit. There's still crashes, system failures, hard drive failures, SD card wipes and stuff like that along the way. You get frustrated and stuff like that, But it's never changed. When it finally gets up and it gets watched, and more importantly, it gets comments that I can interact with, it's a wonderful feeling. It really is. It's such a rewarding feeling. And to prove, like, the point being, right, I obviously still feel as passionately now as I did then, because you don't dial something in. Well, I like to think I don't look like, at least I'm dialing in, but you don't dial something in for 8 years, 2 years shy of a decade. You can't do that. No one can fake shit for that long. But then talking about the live streams, this whole wonderful journey along the way, the live streams we had, Retro Unlim and that, and then again proving that people, would come on there, bigger YouTubers and stuff like that, people that you look up to, because none of us were particularly massive or anything. We were all small tubers on these streams, and we talked to Alpha Omega Sin, we talked to Ashins, got Ashins to do me a Sexy Biscuits intro mimed by Guru Larry, who's on there. And Guru Larry's a wonderful person to prove that, these channels interact with small. He's an amazing YouTuber for interaction with smaller channels, and such a nice and helpful person in being a YouTuber. And he was on there, and we just had so many great guests that you just thought, wow, the people's bedrooms to billions and stuff like that. And again, the point I'm trying to make here is not showing off and name dropping. It's just a wonderful, wonderful process that just grew from just a little thought in my head, which is why I recommend you do start a YouTube channel, which is, I wonder if I could do that, into having so many great experiences and meeting great people and talking to these big people that you look up to, and your peers and stuff, and then having them do intros and stuff like that for you. I mean, obviously, what was it? Happy Console came when I asked him, and he did me an intro. Again, Review Tech USA did me one. Lazy Games Review did me one. Kim Justice did me one. All my mates. I got all my mates. Obviously, anyone who watches the channel regularly will know who all my mates are. That was a given. I'd ask them. But the point being, again, this whole interaction thing, that's what it's about. I've always tried to be a community player. It's always been important to me. Have I perfectly achieved it? Probably not. But the point is, at least if you try and pay it back, then, good things happen to people who try hard. And by that I mean, if you're shouting people out, if you're doing your best, then we can keep a wonderful little community. Well, it's not, the gaming community is not lit up, you know what I mean? A part of this community, part of a bigger community on a bigger file sharing site. We can keep it going. We can keep the positive in it and keep chipping away at all the negative stuff that gets introduced by Google that makes it more and more difficult. That's the point I'm trying to get at. More and more difficult for people to get their sorry, Windy Pop's foot in the door. Every time they, they introduce things, no video responses and stuff like that, algorithm changes and shit like that, it comes to us to look after each other. It comes to us to, dare I say, police the system as such, or fight the system, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is getting away from me, but I'm just trying to convey to anyone out there, do it. It's brilliant. And I cannot put into words, because what am I on? 5,800 in something subs. And that to me, again, it's not the number, but it's the potential interaction and the forums you can create in your comment section is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. It is, big compared to some other people, absolutely not. But to me, well, nah, who cares? But to me, it's a fantastic thing, because this soapbox that I have it still reaches out. It's Cruise My Productions, it still reaches out and connects with new people, and that's ultimately what YouTube was about, kind of still is about, but we have to make sure that it stays that way. It's just, other things along the way. Another big kick in the pants for me was having a video that exploded. And again, crap production, and silly content in videos. You don't know what people want to watch. There's someone out there who'll watch anything. Hell, like I said, the first thing that was on YouTube was people watching cats full of fucking pianos. And that was, the knockoff Chinese Xbox video. And it was weird. It was a slow climber. And all of a sudden, I guess it made to a front page and picked up an algorithm and just went boom. And the downside's that. But this is why, part and parcel. If you put yourself out there on social media, you got to accept that there are people out there who are twats. I mean, give someone the ability to hide their face and get, ninja with their fingers as a faceless keyboard princess, then you're going to get trolled. So, that was a double-edged sword. It blew up. It's 1/8 of my channel views, and I'm on 1.25 million channel views. That blows my mind. 1/8 of them is down to one video that blew up and got the sub count going. Again, I'm trying to say this is a thing that was exciting along the way. But then also, I was blocking trolls nightly because of that video. What? The 480 in 2017, and yeah, nice fucking bed sit or nice squat, and yeah, but that's part and parcel. If you're worried about such things, then that's social media. Don't worry about such things. Like I said, give someone the ability to hide their face and they'll always lurk. But I'm saying that was an amazing thing, that blowing up, doing pickups in the wild and showing people my neck of the woods. It was more important to show people where I could go rather than the pickups. And that's why I like doing my driving vlogs, which people like, because again, it was because I like watching driving vlogs, because everyone has a fascination for seeing somewhat, I like to think at least, within the world of someone else, like a YouTuber, so which is where they live. So what's it like where they live? What shops are where they live? When they drive, and again, obviously in different countries and stuff like that. It's exciting and interesting. So I've enjoyed sharing that. But the point I want to get to and say of this video, this has been 8 years. It's been absolutely so much fun. So much fun. I still love making videos as much as I had on day one. The number of friends I've made is unbelievable. The number of people I chat to daily that I have met through YouTube, and then it spills over into Facebook. But I'll be perfectly honest, the majority of people who are my friends in Facebook have some connection to me in one way or another, whether it's content creator or just someone who watches regularly, to my YouTube channel. It's brilliant. It's become such an integral part of my life. And yeah, I'm not saying I couldn't live without it. I'm just saying I can't imagine my life without it, because it's brought such a positive to my life. It's given me confidence. It's given me the ability to, I like to think, to speak in public and stuff like that. It's brought me a whole bunch of skills that you never would have thought of just sitting here and talking to a camera, or was sitting there and talking to a camera while it's pointed at the screen would ever do. So I just like to say thank you so much for 8 years. 8 years of support is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm proud to bring you entertainment for 2 years shy of a decade, and thank you for all your comments. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, to everyone who's ever thumbed me up, everyone who's ever thumbed me down, because here's the kicker, they do exactly the same thing. I cannot tell you how amazing this is to say. I've been doing this for 8 years. 8 years. I've got 2,000 videos. I'm like a knockoff budget crap Netflix. But yeah, I just want to say thank you very, very, very much. And I was going to say, and as always, I'd love to know what you think, but this was kind of, this is me talking about me. So, but anyway, as always, I would love to know what you think if you have anything to say. And again, thank you so much for 8 years on YouTube. I'm so proud of that milestone, and I'm so proud that you have been there for it, and are the reason that I get to celebrate it. This was all over the shop. I do apologize about that, but I would like to say sincerely thank you all very much for watching from day one right up to now, and I'll see you later.